does prison make sense? Does the idea of sentencing someone to a life sentence actually make sense? What about the death sentence? Is that something that we as a society should still be doing? That is actually the question that I asked during an episode of Deep Space Nine Hard Times. So, in the episode, O'Brien comes back to Deep Space Nine after experiencing a digital prison sentence. And my first question was, is this ethical? Having someone experience a 20-year prison sentence in a matter of hours wasn't real. It wasn't something he actually experienced. It was just a simulation inside of his head. And I think the thing that I came to the conclusion was yes, because he is getting to experience it and learn the life lessons that you're supposed to get from prison, but without losing your life in the process. And so then it makes you kind of wonder, like, well, what's the point of prison? What's the point? In the United States, the idea of it is supposed to be a correctional facility that you are to go in there, serve your time, and come out to be a better member of society, to, work hard to make the community better, to be better, to, not commit the crime that put you there to begin with. Obviously, as we all know, there is a giant glaring flaw in the system, in that the system is broken and doesn't really work, and it disproportionately affects people of color. And that's what begs the question. So one of the sentences that we have is life without parole. Someone explain the point to that. Because we call them prisons, but we call it the Department of Justice a correctional facility. The idea is to correct behavior that we have deemed not fit for a community, not fit for society. So life without parole, what is the point of that? You're putting someone behind bars with the chance of never getting out. For all it's worth, you might as well kill them, because their life's pretty much over anyways. Sure, they can still see their family, they can still read and experience art and stuff like that, but they will never partake in society in the same way. The only society they will get is the micro society that they get inside of prison, which you could argue is not necessarily life, because they're under constant surveillance. They are being, commanded and dictated by the people around them, in the form of security guards, etc. That's not life, if you ask me, and it's not the life that we as civilized people have decided is how we should live openly and freely. I mean, we're supposed to be the land of the free. So, and I said, well, you might as well kill them. Well, you know what? Also, that's the same thing. What's the point of the death penalty? You're not correcting any behavior. You were punishing someone in anything. You're actually doing what I would say is probably more akin to Hammurabi's Code, which is an eye for an eye, which is something that was deemed barbaric and inhumane like a really long time ago. That's why in most states we don't actually have the death penalty. So I come back to that question of, is that humane? And I think in the end, it can be when done properly. Because while O'Brien thinks that he spent 20 years in prison, he didn't. He was there for mere hours. And we can go into the psychological trauma and all of the issues that he gets with that, the reintegrating into society, and all of his experiences that he struggles with during this episode. Yes, there's more to be said about that. But he gets to continue his life. He gets to go on without losing any of it. And he still gets to have the quote-unquote lessons that he may have learned during that tenure. He will have the time to actually take the corrections and put them forth into society without losing a huge portion of his life or his entire life in the process. I don't know, and this is what I think is beautiful about art, is it allows us to look at our society and analyze it in a way that we wouldn't necessarily think, because it's outside of what is normal. And so it makes us question something that we don't inherently see every day, which is why I kind of wanted to talk about this, because I think the correctional system in specifically the United States is extremely broken. And art is a good way to take a look at that and to see other things that could be better, but also hopefully inspire others to actually go out there and seek change and seek justice and find a way to reform it. And that's why I find art to be so beautiful, is because we can do things like that and have discussions like this.